Very interesting times that we live in. So it just sort of highlights the way we make decisions in leadership in this country. If you encounter a problem, there's something we call the problem-solving paradigm, where you identify the problem, identify the determinants of the problem, and when you're crafting solutions, you look at the consequences of the solutions that you're crafting. So when you look at this bill, okay, so individuals graduating from medical school stay in the country for 5 years. Where are they going to work? People actually don't realize. When I graduated from medical school, a lot of us had to wait and run around the country looking for where to do our housemanship. To do residency, sometimes you have to look for places for like 3 to 4 years. So where are these people actually going to work? We don't have the health facilities. Where are the healthcare materials that they're going to work with? We don't have healthcare materials for them to work with. So these are some of the issues that people are actually not looking at. So an individual, and I was watching some of the videos, and one of the people had said, oh, their education is subsidized, so they have to give back. So are you saying that anyone that graduates from a public Nigerian university has to stay, but not just it can't be only the healthcare professionals, because they're not the only people that their education is being subsidized. So these guys have been in school, some of them 9, 10 years because of strikes. So they come out, you say it's subsidized, so everybody has to stay back in the country for 5 years. How is that going to work? You're trying to solve the problem of healthcare access. Is this really the first step that you're going to take? What about provision of even more medical schools? What about provision of funding for the healthcare system? Healthcare funding to GDP is 3%, below the recommended 15% to GDP. So you're jumping all the steps that you should have taken and getting to this particular point. So there's a big problem with that position.
Okay, I think it's an interesting part that Sheito is actually starting,
yes,
with this, because, the way I look at it is that it's an important topic, given that yesterday was, World Health Day. And part of the reason why, that day has been celebrated is also to celebrate, caregivers themselves. And here we are in a country of 200 million people, and we have, my good friend and Egbon, Honorable Ganiu Johnson, who's actually, the gentleman who introduced the bill, saying that I understand the vision behind it, but then I'm not sure, just like you have explained, that this has been well, thought through.
Yes.
How do you think that? I have seen the reaction of the MBA and the resident doctors saying that this is not where to start from.
Exactly.
But then do you recognize the challenge that he's trying to address, through this bill? The challenge that, one, not only do we not have enough doctors as we speak, we are far below what United Nations recommend. But then even with that little number, a good chunk of doctors that we are producing are into Japan. Everybody wants to move abroad, and it's a concern.
Yes.
And therefore, it's saying that let's find a way to make them stay and contribute to the healthcare development in Nigeria. Do you think that if it has been worded differently, that it will have made more sense? Or you just think that you really can regulate what a doctor does with his or her life after graduation?
So I think the wording is not where the concern is. So there's something with immigration, there's something we call the push and the pull factors.
Yeah.
So have you noticed that there are more doctors and nurses, even physiotherapists, medical lab scientists leaving the country now than, say, 5, 10 years? When I graduated, people were leaving, but not at this rate. So these push factors have increasingly intensified. So what are these? So these are the things that you need to be addressing. So what are the push factors? Things like insecurity for healthcare professionals. When I remember doing a rotation in the ER, and as soon as I walked in, my colleague said, you need to take off your name tag. Because yes, they're going to attack you. Who wants to work like that? So people always think, oh, the doctors, they always want more money. Is the money that is, no, there are other push factors. Insecurity, you don't have work tools. I have colleagues that have to buy their work tools with their own money and use for patients. Who wants to keep doing that? And then you have other climes where these things are provided. What about the training? I see people that have been in residency training for 7 years. Who wants to be in residency training for 7 years? In places like the US, it's a standard time base, 3 years and you're done. So it looks, so that's a pool. Time here so if you're really, really fast, you can do it in 5 years. But people tend to do it 6, 7 years. So so that's a pull factor. So you're looking to yourself, you've already been on strike for how many years? You graduated medical school, you were supposed to be there for 6 years, you spent 9 years. And then you're looking at this residency, which you have to wait 2 to 3 or 4 years to be able to get in because they don't have enough spots. And then when you ask, they'll be like, but we don't have enough funding to pay all of you. So when someone is saying all of you should stay back, are you going to pay them? So you have these pull factors. Person is looking and saying, I only need to do my residency for 3 years. I don't have to buy my work tools myself. I don't have to remove my name tag from my scrubs because I'm scared someone is going to come beat me up or kill me. These are the factors that you should be addressing. So forcing someone to stay here, you're not solving the problem. We need to solve these determinants of the problem.